So, how do we define data quality in OT? Today I have Bert Baeck, CEO of Timeseer, here together with me to ask that question. Bert, how do you define data quality?
Well, I could have a definition, and I have, but it's always very strong, I think, if you ask a client or a customer or a prospect what the definition is. And there's one I really remembered from a front-leading oil and gas company that is quite advanced in their maturity with respect of AI analytics. And the following definition came. There was based on three kind of fundamental pillars. And again, we're talking OT, IoT, sensors and devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about IT-centric data. The first pillar is the data what I think it is? Like if you're storing a flow measurement or temperature, is it a flow measurement, for example? The second pillar is like, is that data from sensor flowing from the sensor to the data acquisition, through the acquisition level, all the way to the... moet ook niet doen.
Gaan we gewoon even opnieuw beginnen?
Ja, liefst wel.
Ja.
Ja.
Want ik vind het al super interessant, dus ik kan gewoon
Ja.
even...
Ja. Gewoon, dat is de eerste keer dat we een retake moeten doen.
Hey, dat is omdat het bijna middag is.
Ja.
Dat is bijna middag. Oké, goed. How do we define data quality in OT? Important question, and I have Bert Baeck here with me today. Bert, over to you. How do you define data quality in OT?
Good question, David. I think, who am I to give a definition? I have a definition, but I will rather start with a prospect of ours, the definition they gave to us, because of course they are having the pain. We are solving it, and it's an oil and gas company that's quite advanced in their maturity with respect of AI, having thousands of models in production. And the definition I got back is based on three pillars. The first pillar is the data what I think it is? Like if I'm looking to a flow measurement or a temperature measurement, am I also storing that? Or is it like having different units, wrong units? That's the first kind of pillar. The second pillar is the data flowing from sensor to data product through the data acquisition storage, but also like in all up to the way of the data product. That's like the second. You can compare it with your data lifecycle, like is it going from sensor to data product? And the third pillar is this data representing the state of the condition of the process, right? And I think that is something very specific for OT, IoT, where you don't deal with in like IT kind of environments, and that makes the definition for OT, IoT, for data quality quite unique, I think. And then I have also my own definition.
Yeah, but let's keep it with this one because you mentioned IT, you mentioned OT. We often talk about this IT-OT convergence where data from operational platforms it flows into I would say more IT-centric systems. Can we compare data quality in both environments, or are there some specificities in one or the other?
Well, I think the OT domain is more complex. For example, in the SQL-centric IT domain, you can have a lot with volume, schema checks, and like freshness. They are also important in like the OT domain, but I would break it up a little bit different because there's more that's important for OT data. I would start with the first important thing is like the structure and the context of your data, which is very specific for OT. And a lot of the times it's important if you want to make data manageable and readable. Readability is also a pillar of quality. So I would start with context and structure. A second thing is like what we call the observability, observing the state of the system, like the database. And there you see like two angles. There's like the fundamentals where you just talk about indeed the schema, the volume, the freshness, is data coming in. But then you have to zoom into the level of what we call sensor data integrity. Can I trust this sensor? Can I trust this reading? Knowing the condition of the process. That's very specific for OT. The third dimension or pillar would be like the cleansing part, which also the journey for cleansing of data is different in an SQL or in a SQL database in comparison with a sensor. You need a lot of times some generative cleansing methodologies to clean data. That's like the third pillar. The fourth would be protect and govern You need to protect and govern and manage your data, get into manageable states, and following or tracking and monitoring the quality of your data. That's like the fourth pillar for us. And then, of course, the fifth is like the lineage, which is also different than in comparison when data is already residing in Snowflake or Databricks or a cloud warehouse where you start from your logs. The lineage for OT is very specific. So these would be the 5 pillars I would use as a definition for data quality.
Okay, perfect. What does Timeseer exactly do in this OT data quality area?
Yeah. All against the value chain of data quality, from connectivity to scanning, the structure, the contextualization, the scoring of your data, like thumbs up, thumbs down, is data, can I trust data? Flagging problems, helping in the root cause analysis, incident analysis, also monitoring your quality over time, up to the level of protecting levels like service level objectives and agreements for data quality, but also like cleansing data. So it's a platform that is helping in the complete life cycle of data quality management.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Welcome.